Hello and welcome to Culture Shocked, the pop culture podcast brought to you by three aging millennials and our outdated opinions. A while back, Adrian and I did a collaboration with Bubbawheat over at the Fight Club Minute podcast, a minute-by-minute breakdown of the entire movie with different guest podcasters in each episode. We were slotted in for the minutes 52, 53, and 54. We talked about Marla's weird-ass apartment, sex so loud that it shakes the whole house, and some really messed up things about being fucked in grade school. If you've seen the movie, you know the line I'm talking about. We will be releasing these in 3 parts over the next few weeks. I'd say more, but technically, I'm not supposed to talk about it. So sit back, watch this amazing movie, and relax.
I am Jack's 54th minute. I begin with Marla needing a caseworker, not a lover, and I end with Jack trying to ignore the loud sex going on in the house. I'm your host, Bubbawheat, and my co-host, Lance Stanford, invaded my support group, my podcast, and yet he's not here today for some reason. And Adrian and Corey, you're going to have to be my guest for the rest of this minute. Now, promise me.
I promise.
Do you promise?
I promise.
Promise?
I promise, okay?
That's 3 times you promised. So.
Guys, I just got what you were doing.
I didn't pick up on it for a second. I'm like, oh, he wants me to promise.
I'm like, are we having audio issues or?
All right. Well, I mean, we've been having a lot of fun this week, but I do like to get, just a little bit serious on a Friday episodes because this movie has become this like touchstone of toxic masculinity that has kind of attached themselves to it and for the wrong reasons. So I like to give our guests an opportunity to help share an example of positive masculinity, either from movies, TV, or even like a real life example. So, Adrian, why don't you kick us off?
Okay. Again, I'll be quick, but if you listen to our episode, probably Wednesday for your releases, I tend to do too much homework, so I'll be brief here. Well, the first movie example I had, Gomez Addams. To me, right there, that is peak masculinity. Never takes anything out on his family. He's always there for whatever they need. He has a great relationship. When people say they want a relationship like Harley and Joker, I promise you don't. You want Morticia and Gomez. That's what you want.
So which Gomez is your Gomez?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Not my Gomez.
The one for the Sega Genesis. No. Just because I grew up with it, probably the movie from the 90s with Christina Ricci.
Yeah, Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Although I didn't mind Luis Guzman, a lot of people had issues as soon as they started marketing that Luis Guzman for reasons we won't get into. But I thought he was fine.
Yeah, I liked him as well.
I'll let Corey do one now because I want to say like 1 or 2 more, but I don't want to step on his toes if I take one of his answers.
Oh, you're probably not going to.
Okay, good.
I only have one answer. It's really the only one I could come up with, and the movie starts actually as toxic masculinity and kind of graduates to positive masculinity and a message. And it's going to sound really weird because this is not a movie that's typically talked about a lot, but I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Oh yeah.
It starts very like Adam Sandler's all about gay is weird and I can't do that for you and ew, that's gross. And then by the end of that movie, he's like defending these guys and girls who are at this club, and like he doesn't like the words anymore, and they go into that court case kind of being heroes. It's weird, but it doesn't, and he, like, Kevin James even starts to accept his son who's a little strange.
Yeah,
I think that ends up being positive.
It's a movie about a piece of crap human that becomes kind of a decent human.
Exactly. And that's about as far as I like to take my masculinity.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's progress. At least there's some type of arc there.
Yeah. I would not have expected that from that movie.
Never.
I don't think I would have touched that movie with a 10-foot pole.
Right. They're brave just to make it. Just a few more quick answers. Corey, I'm shocked you didn't say this one. Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Okay.
All the men of Lord of the Rings are like peak masculinity, but in the best way. They're emotional. They care for each other. They're like, they're loyal to a fault. So definitely all the guys on Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, again, you're not the first person to say Aragorn, and I'm certain you won't be the last.
And then two more. I have more, but I'll just do two more. One, Corey won't like because he hates the superhero, but Superman to me is like an ideal man. Like, like physically he's gifted, but he also cares about people and
Oh, Superman.
right. And someone said, what is it? Superman isn't just Superman because of his godlike powers. It's because despite his godlike powers, he's a decent person. So,
Yeah, I think, I don't read comics that much, but there is one comic panel that makes the rounds a lot with Superman whenever he is on the roof with the suicidal girl. And I think that's a fantastic panel.
Yeah. And not to get too far down the rabbit hole, but I like Zack Snyder, but that was a little bit of his problem with the Superman is he wasn't really as sympathetic. Zack Snyder just hates people, normal people. Superman wasn't as sympathetic about it. Wasn't like, how am I going to save this person? It's like, should I save this person?
Which, by the way, Bubbawheat, I don't know if you're a fan of the show The Boys on Amazon, but they actually did a parody kind of that comic where Superman's trying to help the lady on the ledge, but it's Homelander, the guy who's trying to be a good guy but is not, and he ends up turning on the person and saying, "Fine, do it." Like it's a complete parody of that moment.
I like what's Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. If you listen to our podcast, one that I absolutely love, but Wayman from Everything Everywhere All at Once, a man that literally fights all of his battles with kindness and empathy. Best character in the movie.
Nice. That I haven't seen that movie, but I want to. I've heard so many good things about it, and it feels right up my alley too.
Yeah. So those are a couple of my examples.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for that. That's a lot of great choices.
And as far as real life examples, I have none because people aren't nice. No, I'm joking.
All right, so jumping into this minute, this is we get the two of them like really just ragging on Marla at the beginning. That Jack's saying that she needs a caseworker, and even Tyler says that and a wash. Like,
yeah,
Tyler's talking that she's just dirty.
Is that like she's dirty in general because she does have that grungy look, or is it like she needs a wash after what they did?
Yes, imagine a little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of country and rock and roll.
and he does, and Tyler does specifically say that he's not her lover; it's just sport for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think I do love the choice of like just the whole movie kind of looks dark and drab in general. But I love what Helena Bonham Carter did with her character. And fun fact, she made her makeup artist put all her makeup on with her left hand.
Yeah.
Because she just didn't. Yeah, she didn't think like that character should be that concerned about what her makeup looks like.
Yeah. That's probably a good call.
Yeah.
And one background detail that I noticed in this scene that I love, the Paper Street house overall is fantastic. But one background detail I noticed that's great is they have this power strip just duct taped to the wall in between the windows.
Yeah, yeah. That house is a wreck. They have to turn the power off right every time there's a storm or every time it rains.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 6 feet of water in the basement.
Yes. Yeah. They have to go stand in knee deep water to play with the fuse box.
He was definitely squatting, right? Like that house.
Yeah. Most likely that would be my.
I mean, I don't know who was paying the electric bill, but they were.
Well, I have seen like Instagram reels of abandoned buildings, and I saw one relatively recently that mentions that you'd be surprised how many abandoned houses that I've found that still have working electricity.
Wow.
Weird.
Yeah, if Jason can still have electricity in his hut, then it's possible for anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no mistakes in those movies, so it has to be right.
I mean, there's different ways you can bypass the meter if you know a little bit about electricity, and there's sometimes it gets lost, and the electric company just like if you're not drawing too much power, which I think the Paper Street house probably wouldn't be drawing that much power because they just have like a stove and
the lights
and lights.
Yeah,
it's just a blip in their system. It'd be hard to notice.
And welcome back to our podcast, How to Steal Utilities.
And then Tyler like turns on the serious switch, but it's like a weird mix of being serious but also being childish, because he sets these ground rules that that he tells Jack, you can't talk about me to Marla or to anyone or anything that goes on to this house. You can't talk about.
See, and I personally think that's a continuation of earlier in that conversation when he kind of got surprised that he didn't know that he's like, oh, you're not figuring it out yet. I think that was then Tyler sitting him down to be like, well, then you can't mention me to her because you don't get it yet. I don't need that shock to your system because I am you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like he is, in a way, that he is protecting his own existence.
Yeah. If you learn about the other voice in your head too early, you can fight it. But if it's there too long, it's a part of you. It's there. And Tyler was trying to survive in his own world.
Yeah, but at the same time, it is such a weird request for him to say, like, don't talk about me to Marla. And even Jack begins to ask, he's like, why would I? And Tyler cuts him off. Because if you think about it, like, why would Jack talk to Marla about Tyler?
Tyler. Yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of put it in their head. So now maybe they will talk about it when they wouldn't have before.
I think maybe he was just meaning like, don't even offshoot be like, are you coming back tomorrow to see Tyler? Because then she'd get all confused. I think it was even like, don't even say my name because she doesn't know me as that.
You're right. Well, I mean, she knows Brad, like she knows Tyler as Tyler, but she doesn't know Jack as Tyler.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Or she does know Jack as Tyler, but Jack doesn't know Jack as Tyler.
Do you think she realizes there's two people in there?
I don't think she does.
Yeah.
I think I mean, best case scenario, she thinks that he's got like a split personality, but
because the way she storms off would suggest she doesn't really get it.
Mm-hmm.
She obviously knows he's bipolar or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think she knows he's living two fully different lives.
Yeah. It's Tyler in the sheets and Jack in the streets. Because Tyler's definitely doing the banging and the fighting in this movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Durden of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it does, I think it's a little bit past our minutes. It'll probably be the next guest you have on. But yeah, it is so interesting seeing the dynamics, like where you think kind of Jack is just being a jerk to her when she comes down. And he's like, what are you doing in my house? Like, why are you here? And she's genuinely like offended. And like, you could see maybe why she would be upset, but it all makes sense when you realize like the guy she just slept with, he's like, why are you in my house?
Yeah.
And she's like, you're crazy, man. Like, I can't even keep up with you. And like your first time seeing it, you're like, he doesn't seem that crazy. He's just mad that you're here. Like, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
That was actually the previous 3 minutes because it goes back.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And like from Marla's point of view, it's like a guy that wants to kick her out before breakfast.
Exactly. Yeah. This is my home. What are you doing here?
or the guy the night before that's like, I got to get up early for work and
time to hit the old dusty trail.
You're still fake watch. You're still here, huh?
Oh, look at my arm. It's
set your clock. Is that the time already?
Well, that's where a watch would go if I had one.
Fake watch.
And then Tyler cuts him off like whenever he's questioning it, and then he goes into this again, like schoolboy Tyler, with this triple promise which it feels like the triple dog dare from A Christmas Story.
Oh yeah, it really does feel that juvenile.
I want to point out the first time he asks him, he doesn't say, "Do you promise?" So he didn't say promise 3 times. He said okay. He just says okay the first time.
He says okay, and then
he doesn't say, "Do you promise?" He says, "Okay." He goes, "Okay." Nobody says promise the first time.
Well, Fincher doesn't make a mistake, so maybe the first one was off screen. We didn't see it.
Yeah. The first one was written down on a piece of paper on the table.
I promise.
Yeah.
You're a tough negotiator.
And then we also get this line, this narrated line about how Jack laments about not taking a couple minutes to go watch Marla Singer die. And I think that's interesting because he does say like just a couple minutes, which that's another implication that she is only a few minutes away. Like,
But it also could mean that he never actually went there to bring her to the house. Like that supports that theory that she came there. Because he says, I wish I had gone, which means in his mind, he doesn't think he ever went there. So maybe he never did.
yeah, or if he just, took a couple minutes to go to the other spot in his mind. If Marla is the third figment of his imagination.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Maybe that apartment building doesn't even exist.
So many dark theories for an already bleak, dark movie. Yeah, but like, had he gone there, I thought that was one of the roughest lines in the movie, honestly. But like, had he gone there, maybe, I mean, maybe he was there. We don't know. But with, say, our theory that he wasn't there, like, had he shown up, I don't think there's any way he would have sat there and watched her die. Like, I don't think he was that heartless, was he? He's not Walter White, spoiler alert.
No, I don't think so either. Like, this is just, again, that this is like his inner monologue just being hyperbolic.
That's true.
Just with the same way of him imagining putting a gun to his head and blowing his brains out. This is the same kind of hyperbole.
This entire movie is open for interpretation.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much of this you could come up with a theory on.
I guess it does start with like, it's literally him retelling the story. So everything's like hindsight.
Yeah.
Like maybe had I let Marla die, then everything wouldn't have gone quite this bad.
And of course, we haven't really talked about it, but he could be an unreliable narrator as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite tropes when it works.
So that throws this, the entire movie in question.
And I would absolutely say he qualifies as an unreliable narrator.
Yeah. Someone who doesn't know that he has a split personality.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe many of them.
Hello, I'm Marla Singer.
This is at the end of the movie, David Dunn is sitting having a coffee at the cafe.
Yeah.
And you get the score from Unbreakable starts playing in the background.
Perfect. Now I do, in my head canon, now I do like to think, like, in the movie, Edward Norton walks around doing his best Brad Pitt and Helena Bonham Carter impressions.
So, Bubbawheat, what you're telling me is it was Bruce Willis the whole time?
It was James McAvoy.
Oh
yeah, I guess he was the one at the cafe.
Well, he was the one with the multiple personalities in the Shyamalaniverse.
The Shyamalaniverse.
It's a good movie.
Into the Shyamalaniverse.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 of those are great movies.
Wait, 2 out of 3 what? All of the movies we just mentioned?
Unbreakable and Glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Probably the same 2 for all 3 of us.
I was gonna say we won't talk about it because we probably agree.
I mean, I didn't hate Glass, but except for the ending.
Yeah.
It was promised to be way more of a showdown than it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that meme of like the 3 dragon heads where the one's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last, like, basically 20 seconds of today's minute is this montage of Jack just trying to ignore the very loud sex that Tyler and Marla are having. And in the commentary, Brad Pitt talks about how much fun that he and Helena Bonham Carter had just like being in the room, just shouting for like half a day.
Yeah. He said they spent like a full day or 2 of just doing like orgasm noises for the movie.
Yeah. And like jumping around.
That's a crazy job.
Ouch.
And I don't think we quite got to it, but that's another one of those sure signs that he's the same person when she gets up and she's like, who are you talking to? When clearly she knows there's only one other person in the house if there are 2 other people. And she clearly would have seen Edward Norton at the door.
And and we get only the first half of this line where he's saying that he could go to another room. And then the last half of that in the next minute is like on the 3rd floor where I wouldn't be able to hear them. But of course, he's not able to remove himself from the situation because he is 100% in that situation. But it's also, again, just kind of like thinking about the conversation in the last minute. It is weird to think about how he is actually existing in this scene, in this moment. The fact that he is imagining himself being Tyler, but also removing himself from sex with Marla, and like he is physically Tyler in this situation, but mentally he is Jack in the other room listening to himself having sex.
And how confused is she that every 30 seconds he stops and leaves the room to go do something?
I actually have a theory that I think holds up pretty well. I just thought of this. So, sometimes being intimate, sometimes you last longer than other times.
What?
And, when you're trying not to release, you always say, like, think of something boring, think of something boring. So maybe in his mind, he's reading a book.
Oh.
So that's why Tyler lasts so long, because he's imagining himself being Jack doing sit-ups in the floor below.
That's right. Jack's not doing anything sexual, so he would last a long time.
Oh, and he lasts a long time.
And also, and on top of that, it's like Jack is, at this point, he is basically repulsed by Marla, so that's like he is not aroused by Marla. So that's, again, that helps Tyler last longer in bed.
Oh, okay, yeah. See this, guys. We've come up with some theories these last couple episodes. I think we're breaking new ground here.
I think the biggest one is that Tyler Durden and the narrator are the same person.
That one's just
really? I never knew that.
Confirmed.
Yeah, that one. I don't know how that one holds up. It's too high concept.
Yeah, you're right.
His name was Meatloaf.
And then we get this moment with Edward Norton here reading the magazine, and he's reading the annotated reader, and the annotated reader is the movie's version of the Reader's Digest, because I don't know if you know this, but the Reader's Digest actually, like the articles that they're talking about, the I Am Jack's Medulla Oblongata, that is based on a real article series from the Reader's Digest. The main difference is, instead of Jack, it was Joe.
Oh, okay.
So it was literally I Am Joe's blank.
Yeah, I actually pulled up, I found one of the articles. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's like 2 pages long, but it is literally I Am Joe's Heart by J.D. Radcliffe. I'm certainly no beauty. I weigh 12 ounces, am red-brown in color, and have an unimpressive shape. I am the dedicated slave of, well, let's call him Joe. Joe is 45, ruggedly good-looking, has a pretty wife, 3 children, and an excellent Joe. Joe has it made. Me, I am Joe's heart. And it is exactly how it's described in the movie. And it is so weird.
Reader's Digest did a lot of weird things back in the day. They used to teach you how to do dangerous jobs around your house you shouldn't be doing.
How to make napalm from orange juice and
orange juice concentrate.
Yeah.
I think you're the most interesting. What's he call them? Part-timer or
single serving friend.
Yeah, I think you're the most interesting single serving friend I've ever had.
Yeah.
See, single serving. I get it. It's clever.
How's that working out for you, being clever?
Good.
And we can also see a couple other like real magazines in the background. There's although I did notice that they both have their covers partially obscured, because there is one on his like end table that you can see it's Business Week, and there's an ashtray on top of it, so you can't see the whole cover, but it's the Technology Paradox. And I believe that was from I looked it up. I couldn't confirm it, but I found an article that was from Bloomberg's Business Week with that title that was in March of 1995. And so I believe that's like an actual magazine. And then the other one that we see, we see a close-up of the cover, like with it being covered in water, but the top of it's cut off. But you can kind of see the B. So it's another Bloomberg Business Week, and it says the headline is "The Best, the Worst Boards: Our Report on Corporate Governance," and I believe that one was like a November '96 issue.
Okay,
still keeping up with the business, even though he's not working his job anymore.
Yeah, and I do appreciate the fact that these are like years old magazines, which fits in right with the hoarder mentality of the house that they're squatting in.
Oh yeah.
This is the deep investigative journalism that the host of the show does that I would have had no idea otherwise. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm always, especially digging into this movie minute by minute. I'm always interested in some of the background details that jump out to me.
Yeah, that's some of the most fun stuff to pause the movie and say, "What's going on back there?"
Yeah, especially whenever you're watching a minute clip like 5 or 6 times in a row.
Like an NFL coach watching the same play. Like, okay, what can we do better?
Back and to the left, back and to the left.
Hey, if you need a job, fire Matt Canada. Had to get it in there.
But that's the end of my notes for this minute. Do either of you have anything else about this specific minute?
I feel like the water dripping down on that light bulb would have made it shatter, right? Like we did that as a kid accidentally one time, dripped water on a light bulb and it exploded. How was that light still like alive? What was going on there?
Accidentally.
Yeah,
We just like things to explode when we were kids.
we did.
And probably a lower wattage.
Yeah, we had the orange juice
Oh, wow.
concentrate. If only we had that gasoline.
And then, since this is your last episode on this show, is there any other scenes or anything else about the movie that either of you wanted to talk about before we go?
Yeah, real quick. The one scene that always stuck out to me, and it's because I kind of did this when I was a kid. I don't know if any of you did this. Don't try it; it does hurt. But the scene where he puts the lye on his hand and closes his hand and burns his hand.
Ugh.
There is a homemade version of that where you put some salt on your hand and put an ice cube and close your hand, and it will burn your skin.
Yeah.
And as a kid, because of this situation, other people had seen the movie and told me about it. We used to have competitions who can do it the longest. And I accidentally did it way too long one time, and I had an ice cube shaped burn on my hand for like 2 years.
Wow.
It really can mess you up. So that scene always sticks out to me because I did that to myself.
What you want to do is you want to lick the wrapper of a big red piece of chewing gum, throw it on your forehead.
Just put it on your forehead.
Get a mouthful of cinnamon and then an ice cube and a salt on your hand. You're good to go. Don't do any of that.
Oh, what was the other one that I was just talking about earlier today? The milk carton stairs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, dumb things we did as kids.
Yeah. Well, this most of the people doing that one wasn't kids. It was stupid adults on TikTok.
No, wait, maybe I don't know about that one. What is that? Milk?
They stacked milk cartons or milk crates into stairs, and they tried to
milk crates
walk up and down it.
Yeah, and they tried to like run up it.
Yeah, I saw a lot of really bad injuries videos from people trying that crap.
I do remember that was real dumb.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have any specific scenes. I just like wanted to give the two overall thoughts as we wrap of the movie as a whole. One thing I like that a lot of movies don't necessarily land is the twist in this movie. First of all, it's executed, beautifully, but it's not one of those things where it makes the movie less rewatchable in the future.
Not at all.
Like this just holds up as a great movie. There are movies I've watched so many where like there's a reveal in the third act and it's like, well, once you know that, there's no need to ever go revisit this. And with Fight Club, that is definitely not the case.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun so far, and and this is a long movie, so we're not even halfway through, even though we've been doing this for months now. But it's been a lot of fun, and thank you guys so much for joining me. This week has been a lot of fun. Got into a lot of headcanons that we haven't really gotten to before now. That we hadn't really dug into the Marla not being real.
Yeah,
very much before now.
Well, of course, we come on and all the conspiracy theories start flying. I swear we're not those people.
Right.
But then the last thing I just wanted to say, I think I mentioned this in our first episode. As you get older, I think you just grow an appreciation for this movie. The older you get, the more you understand society we live in. Brilliant satirical commentary on modern consumerism, and I think that problem has only gotten worse, honestly. And just a movie about finding like something you just put all your time into, like make it positive, but like something where you want to pour all your time into. It's like a passion where you don't just work your 40 hours a week and you're not just a prisoner in the system where you just want to go home to your creature comforts, like a good TV show and food. And like, hey, those are great. I review movies like that. So I go see all kinds of movies, but find if that's what you do, if your favorite thing in life is to watch movies, make it a passion project somehow. Do movie reviews, do movie rankings, do, commentaries on them. If you like
and do a podcast where you break down a movie a minute at a time.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I love the messaging of the movie, and brilliantly done. Good blend of comedy, drama, great twists. Love it.
Yeah, this is one of those movies where you watch it whenever you're younger and you're like, just think, oh, Tyler is such a cool guy, and this movie's so cool. Like the sex scenes and the fighting scenes, and then as you watch it more, it's like, well, this is really intelligent and funny, and it has a message. And Tyler is the villain of this movie.
Yeah, he's not cool,
but he's so cool. Yeah, when you're a kid, you probably think it's more like style over substance, just because, like you said, things are flashing and popping out the screen at you. And then you grow up and it's like, wow, this is both.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me this week. And for one last time, why don't you go ahead and share where you guys can be found online?
Yeah, we're Culture Shock Podcast. We do all things pop culture, movies, video games, TV, sometimes music. You can get us anywhere you get your podcasts. Please go on there, check us out. If you like us, leave us a review. 5 stars would help. We really appreciate it. To follow us on the socials, on Facebook, it's Culture Shock Podcast. Instagram, it's Culture Shock 21. On TikTok, it's CS Podcast 21. And on Twitter, X, where I spend most of my time, it's also CS Podcast 21.
But don't you dare go leave us a 5-star review if you haven't already left Bubbawheat a 5-star review.
That's right.
We'll take one as well, though.
Absolutely. And for everybody listening, we are Fight Club Minutes, and you can find us on all the available podcatchers out there. And we are also a part of the Rabbit Hole Podcasting Network. And there's a lot of great shows. I also have another show and part of that network called Lyrical Innuendo, where every other Friday, me and my other co-host, Nick Rehack, discuss a song and decide if the lyrics are actually about sex, or if they're about drugs, or if they're about anything else. It's a lot of fun. And and you can find all those podcasts at rabbitholepodcasts.com. You can find me on all the social media out there, where I'm at Bubbawheat. I'm mostly on Instagram, somewhat on Threads, but I post a lot of extra content, screen caps with some additional thoughts about what's going on in each minute there on Instagram. And this has been Fight Club Minutes, and this podcast is ending 1 minute at a time.
Promise me. Okay. You promise?
Yeah, I promise.
Promise.
I just said I promise. What?
It's 3 times you promise.